Thank you.
Next up, we have a talk from Noam from Vonage. Noam will be joining us in a second. Hi, Noam.
Hey, how are you? Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you.
Good to be here.
Are you ready to start? Is there anything that you want to open with? Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, sure. So this is going to be a super quick talk, a little bit different than other talks being provided here. What I do, I'm a conversation designer, which is basically working on voice interfaces or voice UI. And I design human to chatbot interactions, some sort on the voice channel. So I'm here to talk about conversation design. Obviously, this is what I do.
Obviously.
So, yeah, I wanted to give you some tips for creating meaningful voice interactions. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, we see your screen, and I'm going to drop off and leave you with the stage. So go ahead, Noam.
Thank you very much, Karen. So voice, right? That's like the easiest way or the most prominent way for us to convey ideas, thoughts, and actually get stuff done. That's the easiest way for us to communicate with one another. But only in recent years, we were able to do so with machines or with computers, right? So up until now, we're able to speak with one another, but not so much with machines. So recently, there's a big conversational AI boom, right? Everyone wants to jump on the wagon, create the best platform ever to design conversations, the drag and drop interfaces. And I feel like for a lot of developers, this would be a really amazing addition to their toolkit, basically, of abilities on how to create meaningful conversations. And when I say meaningful conversations, I mean creating something that will actually drive values, either to businesses or just to end users. We have Alexa skills and Siri and contact centers that are using automation or voice automation. So this is what I do, and I'm here to talk a little bit about that. So 3 key things that I want to cover today. So the first one is, before you start a project, you should actually know your users. And when I mean know your users, you need to use a unique tone, language, and catchphrases for each and one of them individually. You need to give them the feeling that they're not conversing with a bot, basically, but actually speaking with a human. So I got 3 examples here. We have Avi, she's 54, Danny, he's 19, and Tzipi, she's 84. Each one of them has their own attributes. And when I design a conversation, I would like to address each and one of them a little bit differently, just to speak in their own language, kind of like conversing with a human, right? So for Avi, I would go with, I can help you with that. One moment, please. For Danny, I would go with, sure thing, boss. I'll get that info in a sec. And for Tzipi, no problem at all. I'll go ahead and fetch that for you. So once again, you need to create a unique tone and address the user in the correct language. Second part is when I'm designing a conversation, when I'm writing a bot, basically a script, then we need to keep 2 things in mind. One, obviously, we all know that content is king, but context is the queen. So we need to keep both of them in mind when we design a conversation. So we need to get stuff done by driving the shortest way to action. I'm not talking about creating long and complicated flows. People would just usually tend to want to get what they need to do as soon as possible. So for this example, a caller calls in a clinic, let's say. We welcome them, and we also, because we have the number and we can identify them, we can identify them by a name. So I would say, welcome to Astrid Clinic, Jerry, for example. This is our caller. Are you calling about your upcoming appointment with Dr. Levi? So I already have the data pulled from Salesforce or any other CRM and actually drive the shortest way to action. So they may say, I need to reschedule my appointment. Do you have something available on the 23rd? So I need to understand that the 23rd refers to December, right? Because this is the current time. So when I'm saying context, that's exactly what I mean. So December 23rd, 10 a.m., does that work? That's just one example. One important thing to also keep in mind is you need to avoid loops and keep the conversation going. So this is especially about context. A caller may say, I'm calling to check the status of my order. It's been 2 weeks already. The virtual agent will say, what is your order number, please? And it will expect a number, right? Or a serial number, something like that. But the caller may also say something like, where can I find it? I need to understand that it refers to the order number. And also, I shouldn't expect just to get a number. I should also expect to get those type of responses as well and address it accordingly. And the third part, we need to fall back gracefully. We will still have conversations that we are unable to understand what a user wants due to lack of training or something like that. But please, please, please try to avoid those type of sentences. I'm not sure I understand. Can you please rephrase? Can you please repeat that? Please rephrase your question so I'll be able to understand, which is basically the worst. I'm not going to give you one magic sentence because this is high.
Oops, looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Noam just dropped off. Let's give it a moment and see if he returns. And if not, I guess we will be moving on to the next talk.